Are you tired of spending hours editing videos for YouTube? Want to know how to get back so much of that time without hiring? I'm Elise Michelle Nelson. I'm a YouTube business strategist and lead generator, which means I help you use video to create visibility and generate leads for your business. Today, I'm going to show you how I use my favorite AI tools for video editing to save me hours and hours on basic editing tasks. I'll show you my exact process from start to finish in this Descript step-by-step tutorial. Before we continue, please like this video and comment AI to let me know you want more content like this. All right, so here we are in Descript. There'll be a link in the description of this video so you can get Descript for yourself. That is an affiliate link. Feel free to use it or not. I may receive a small commission on this that doesn't impact the price that you're going to get at all. But here we are in Descript, and we're going to jump into this commercial that I recorded for my YouTube cohort, and I'm going to show you my exact steps of how I'm going to edit this video. So I've uploaded the video. I actually recorded this video in Descript by hitting the record button and using the camera. And then it automatically puts it into a script like you can see here. Now, just briefly, I want to walk you through a few parts of the Descript editor so that you know what you're looking at when you get in here in case you haven't used it before. Over here on the left are our scenes. Now, since I haven't made any edits yet because I just recorded this video, there's only one scene. This means that anything that would require going into a specific part of the video, I can do it one time by doing it before doing any editing. Because once I start breaking this video up into multiple scenes, I have to go through and change each scene. It makes things take significantly longer. The next section is this part here, and this is the actual transcript. Descript will actually give you a transcription, and you can use this transcription to do editing on your video, which for people who are not accustomed to video editing can make it significantly easier. So that's this section here. Here at the top is where we can do some actions, and we'll get to that in just a moment. This section over here is clearly my video. This is also where you can decide what dimensions you want to use and all of those good things. And then this part on the side is where you can interact with whatever you're highlighted on to make changes to what's going on. So right now I haven't selected anything. I'm not selected on anything. So this is specific to the entire video. But if I click on this, now I'm editing this specific thing. So that's why all of a sudden I have audio effects, I have effects and animations. All of this can be done on the video itself. There are a couple other sections. Here at the top is where we're going to be importing anything we want to use. So this might be audio files, video files. If we want to use GIFs, anything like that is going to be done here. We want to insert text, squares. I showed you earlier, this is where recording is. All of that stuff is done up here in these little tabs. Here at the bottom is the timeline. Depending upon whether you have it set to show or hide, you'll see the timeline or you won't. So I'm going to go ahead and show the timeline. This is going to be better for those of you who are used to video editing. And then there are certain editing tasks that are easier in the timeline. The timeline essentially works by showing you the audio here and then whatever layers you have on a scene. Now, since this is a new video, I don't have any layers. All you can really see is my original. Some key shortcuts that you're going to know here in the timeline. If you hold Shift and you scroll, it's going to scroll through the video. So you can see right now I'm at 7:07. If I hold Shift and scroll, you can see now I'm at 6:55. So I was going to the left. If I was going to the right, it would get bigger. So Shift is going to help you move through the timeline. And then if you hit Control and scroll, it's going to make it so that the time gets bigger or smaller. So here I'm at 7:10 and 7:10.5. Now if I scroll to the left, you can see now it's 7:10.48 is this whole thing. If I hold Control and scroll to the right, you can see I made the timeline smaller. It now all fits from 0 to 7 minutes in this one section. So Shift plus scroll moves you through the timeline. Control plus scroll lets you make the timeline bigger or smaller so you can see more or less of your video. So those are all the sections of Descript. Actually, just a couple more things here. Publishing is done here in the upper right. This is so that you can make it so people can actually visit your video online and see the script, and the transcript will actually run through at the same time as the video. And then, of course, to go back to your projects, you would come here in the upper left corner. So that's how Descript is laid out. Now I want to jump into what I do as soon as I get a video in here. So whether that's importing a video into Descript or recording the video into Descript, it doesn't matter. You're going to have one scene. You're going to come and you're going to click on the video. And you can see everything down here got highlighted as well. Now, for some of you, studio sound is going to be really useful. Studio sound is one of the audio effects that Descript offers. it will remove background noise. So especially if you're in an area that maybe isn't as quiet, this may be a really useful effect for you to use. Now, one word of warning, certain people's voices end up getting muted in parts when you use studio sound. And this actually happens to me. I'm not quite sure why. So oftentimes I'll turn on studio sound and then I will go through and watch the video to see if my voice dropped out. But I can tell you that pretty much all of the time now, my voice drops out when I use studio sound. So I will not use studio sound, but I do recommend that you try it and then play through the video and see if it helps your audio quality. I'm not going to use it, but if you were going to, you would simply click this little button and that's going to turn it on. And then once it is done applying, this little circle will go away. And then you can listen to it and see if that has helped your audio quality. Now, I actually don't want to use it, so I'm going to turn it back off. Now, I want to point out one thing. Look here at the audio file right here, how big these little things are. And when I turn it on, you will notice once it applies, that changes. And that's why there can sometimes be a dropout in people's voice. So the very first thing that I would do is I would use AI to apply studio sound and then watch the whole video to see if the sound is good. Now, how do you start at the beginning of the video? So if you click on the first scene, it'll take you to the first scene. You can see this line right here shows that I'm at the first scene. You can also click in the transcript and it'll take you to wherever you want to go. So you can see as I'm clicking in the transcript, this line is moving. That's saying that I'm starting at a different point. So any of those are ways to get to the beginning of your video. If you hit spacebar or this little play icon, it'll play the video. Are you overworking yourself with to-do list overload? Are you finding yourself bogged? Okay, so that's how I can watch the video. One other thing I want to mention here is that Descript allows you to play back the video and edit the video at an increased speed without altering the actual video itself. You're going to do that by clicking on playback speed, and then you can change it. So I normally listen at 1.5 or 1.75. So now if I hit spacebar, you can see that's on fast forward. So that's something you're going to want to know. So the very first thing we do is we get it put in here. We're going to click on our video. We're going to turn on studio sound if we want to use it. Then we are going to go into the effects for video, which is just called effects. We're going to hit the plus sign and we're going to do the eye contact. Now, I highly recommend using this tool. It's going to use AI to adjust and make your eyes look like they are focused on your audience. So if at any point during your video, you like shifted your focus or something like that, turning on eye contact is going to fix this. Now, for those of you who are new at recording videos, I just want to make a little tip here for you. I've worked with many people as they start to use video for their businesses, and I can tell you that one of the things I see a lot is people will try and have a script, whether that's on their computer and they're looking down at it, or if they have an actual like piece of paper that they're looking at, whatever the case may be, they write a script that's verbatim, it's meant to be read verbatim, and then they end up looking at it and it ends up making their video have these weird head nods or lookups or eye shifts or whatever. If you are doing that, that is okay. But what you want to do is you want to say a thing, pause, look at your script, pause, say a thing, pause. And as long as you're adding those pauses in anytime you look up and down or sideways or wherever you're looking, then it can be easily edited into script. And I'm going to show you how to do that in just a moment. And when you use this tool to remove those pauses and the eye contact tool together, it makes it so that all of those can go away instantly and you don't have to spend time editing each individual piece out. All right, so we have used studio sound or not. We have added the eye contact effect or not, although I highly recommend using it. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to come up here into the actions. And we are going to remove filler words. So you're going to click remove filler words. And I highly recommend that you change this to ignore instead of delete. And if you have any filler words in your scripts, this is going to be like, like, whatever. It should automatically know that they're there and you can click on remove and it'll take them out. But instead of deleting them, because we changed it to ignore, it'll put a line through them, which means they will not be seen on the video, but you can restore them later if you need to. Because sometimes Descript doesn't get it right, Or for some reason you want that particular filler word there because it makes it sound better or something like that. So by using ignore instead of delete, it's going to make it easier for you to edit your video in the future. And this is what we call non-destructive video editing. It means you're not destroying your video to edit it. And I can tell you, I've worked with many video editors and a lot of them are destructive. And so you'll have someone edit your video and then you'll go watch it once it's all done. And you're like, I don't like this one thing. They can't just fix that one thing. They have to go back in and add stuff in, and it's a really big hassle to change. But when you use non-destructive video editing, like Descript, using the ignore feature instead of the delete feature, you can just restore it and you don't have to worry about it. So as you can see, I'm not getting any filler words here because if I was, it would say remove or remove all, and they would be listed here on the right-hand side of the screen. Now, if you have filler words come up, you can come over and click on them on the right side of the screen, and the script will automatically jump, the video will automatically jump to wherever those filler words are so you can listen to them. And then you can choose to remove one at a time or remove them all. Typically, when I'm doing this step, I just change it to ignore and I remove all and I don't bother to look at them because I know since I'm using the ignore feature, I can bring them back later. So let me show you what that might look like. So let's pretend that this is a filler word. So what would happen is I would come to it and it would be struck out like this. You see how it's got the line through it and it's like a lighter color? That means that's not going to play in the video. So let me go ahead and play it for you. Do you see how it didn't say because? It's because this has been ignored. It's got that strikeout on it. Now, if I wanted to restore it, all I have to do is click the restore button and now it's back. And do you see how that time it said because? And so by taking the ignore for the filler words, it means that you can restore them if you need to. And if you don't, they won't be in your script and they won't be in your video. So that's the next step. So far, we have done studio sound. We have done the eye contact and we have removed our filler words. The next thing we're going to do is shorten our word gaps. So you're going to click on that. And depending upon kind of your rapidity, how fast you talk, these numbers are going to vary. So I do a lot of video editing for clients, and sometimes I go with 4 seconds and I knock it down to 2 seconds because they talk relatively slow. I talk really fast. I have clients all the time asking me how they can slow down my videos, and I usually am much faster. So for me, it's probably more likely I'm going to use 1 second or more, and I'm going to shorten it to 0.5 seconds. And you can see over here, it's brought up all the places where I have a gap of 1 second or more. So this one is 1.2 seconds, this one is 1 second, this one is 3.5 seconds. And when I hit this to shorten them, it'll just simply take them and remove some of the space. So let's go to this one, which will be the most obvious. So when I click this, it automatically took me to where that 3.5 second gap is. And you can see it's these little dots. These dots indicate that there is silence here, okay? And here on my timeline, you can see the silence from here to here. There's no up and down. There's no audio going on here. So I can go ahead and click shorten and it'll take it from that 3.5 seconds down to 0.5 seconds because that's how my settings are. But I want to let you listen to what this sounds like first. So I'm going to click where I want to start playing. Then I'm going to hit this space bar. Our approach involves several key components, all designed to Okay, so this is actually something that I made a mistake on. And that's why there's this really long pause. This is one of the things you can do when you're recording to make it easier to find your mistakes when you go to edit. And so the reason this is a 3.5 second pause is because I was intentionally pausing so that I would find this when I was doing my editing. The strategy that you can use is you can clap your hands like this. And what that'll do is it'll make a really tall spike in your audio file, which you can see visually pretty easily and then edit it out. So we're going to pretend this wasn't a mistake because I want to just show you how this would work. And so if I came here and I'm in this section, you can see it's highlighted over here and I click shorten, you can see all of those little dots went away. So let's watch it now. Our approach involves several. So you see it took out that pause. And so that's what we're doing here by removing the pauses. Now, typically I wouldn't just do one at a time. I would just shorten them all. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Control Z, which is going to put back that pause. So Control Z is how you undo something. You can see it undo, shorten word gap. And I'm going to come all the way back up to the beginning again. And I'm just going to go ahead and say 1 second or more, shorten to 0.5 seconds. I'm going to click shorten all. Okay. And so now you can see it's not giving me any results because it's already shortened all of those areas. And the way that you know where it's shortened is either the little dots are gone, or you might see one of these little double stacked icons, which is right here next to R. And if you click on those, you can actually edit your word gap and change it back, okay? You can restore removed media right here. And that's going to put back that little gap. Now, I know that there's this gap at the beginning of the video. Apparently, it was less than a second, but I don't want it there. I want my video to start where I'm actually saying, are you overworking yourself with to-do list overload? So I'm going to highlight this section and I'm going to do the little ignore. And now my video will start immediately. So let's go ahead and click here and let's go ahead and hit spacebar. Are you overworking yourself with to-do list? So there you go. So that's how the ignore feature works. All right, so we have now used studio sound. We have done our eye contact. We have removed filler words. We have shortened word gaps. Now there's some other AI things that you can do here. So if we go to Ask AI, you can remove retakes. So it will recognize if you said the exact same thing 2 times, like you made a mistake, and it'll actually remove those for you. This is something else that will save you time in your editing. So let's go ahead and click remove retakes. We're going to hit enter. And it's going to say it's thinking. Now, that one retake that I showed you a moment ago, where it wasn't the exact same words, it probably isn't going to catch that. But if you started saying something messed up and then said the exact same thing again, it will probably catch it. So here we go. You can see that it has given me a list of places where it might want to get rid of stuff. So here we go. Looking for, you can see it struck this out here, because I said upon entering the cohort, and then I said upon entering the cohort. So you can see it actually struck out the duplicate. And here, I'm ELISE Michelle, and I look forward to welcoming you. I'm ELISE Michelle, and I look forward to welcoming you. So it knew that those were duplicates. So that one at the end is all the way at the end, so it's right here. Apply edits to script, copy edits to new composition. So I want to apply the edits to the script because I looked at that, and both of those are correct. So I'm going to apply the edits. And now you can see it automatically struck out that duplicate here at the end. So now it's not saying that twice, okay? So then we're going to close that. There are some other AI options here. So you can add chapters or markers if you would like. So this would be good, especially if you're going to be sharing your video using the Descript option, and they're going to be able to see it using Descript's website. You can summarize, you can suggest a title, social post, blog post, show your notes, a YouTube description. You can ask it to find good clips. You can improve and rewrite the script. You can shorten it. You can expand on this. All of these are options for editing your videos because Descript has AI. So that is your basic video editing. At this point, if all you're trying to do is edit the video, remove these like errors and things, you're pretty much done. For YouTube, you would want to definitely add at the end your outro. So this video is specifically to show you the basics of video editing in Descript using AI. I'm going to be doing another video where I'm going to actually be showing you step by step how I do advanced video editing techniques to add pattern interrupts into your video. And this is really important because holding attention is essential on a YouTube video. You're going to want to go watch that video when it comes out, and there'll be a link in the description of this video once it's available. I want to go ahead and show you how you would add your end screen, because for YouTube, it's really important that you add an end screen. I'm going to hit Control End to go to the end of the video. I'm going to come to the very end. I'm going to hit enter. And then I'm going to click this little slash, which is going to add a scene. Or I can just type a slash on my keyboard. And you see how now I have 2 scenes. And this second scene is empty. Okay. It doesn't have anything there. It's completely empty. But I'm going to go ahead and click add file. And I don't have my outro screen right here, but I have a client's. So I'm going to click on this. And it's going to add that outro screen at the end. And you can see it doesn't have any text because all it is a video element with no text. So we can see what that looks like. Expand this out a bit. And again, you can click in any of these places. I can click here on the timeline if that's where I want to start. I can click here in the script if that's where I want to start. I can click on a specific scene if that's where I want to start. Let's go ahead and just click here, and I'm going to hit spacebar to play. And you can see now I've got my outro on there. Now, as I said, this isn't my outro. This is for a client. So this isn't one that I would put here because it doesn't make any sense. But now my outro is there. So now I've got the entire video is edited. I used AI to make it so it was just a couple of minutes, and I've added my outro. So all of this is done using AI in Descript. If you have any questions about this, drop those below. If you want to see more tutorials like this, go ahead and comment AI so that I know to go ahead and make more tutorials just like this one. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the videos that will help you with your YouTube lead generation strategy. I'm so glad we get to live our dreams together every single day, and I hope to see you in the next video.